So, see my shirt? Got my Florida State shirt on. It's always good. It's always good every day to be a Florida State fan. Southern Miss, Florida State fan, Mississippi Valley State fan. It's always a good day. Even when your team is not winning right now. Florida State recently just lost. But I don't help people for this new football season. It's 2024, 2025. I had no expectations. Why? Because once we lost the football race for quarterback Cam Ward, I knew then that it was going to be a roller coaster of a season. Because Florida State, we go two ways. I've noticed as being a fan, since a young little lad or younger, when it comes. We either have a quarterback and we go to the moon, or we have a quarterback and we fall short in the stars. Never fails. Never fails. E.J. Manuel, Christian Ponder, Chris Ricks. Do I need to keep going on? I mean, what more proof do you want me to show you? When we have a quarterback, when we go to the moon, Charlie Ward, Chris Winkie, Jameis Winston, Jordan Travis. We have a quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong, Jordan Travis took some time to grow into his position. He was there for a while. And then finally, at the end, after he knew everything, became comfortable, started scrambling, doing his thing, and got into his shell of becoming those other two quarterbacks because they were already in their shell early. Boom. To the moon. But DJ didn't show any of that. They say he was all those things I named, the other quarterbacks to the moon in high school, and they say he may have topped out his potential. All I'm going to say is this. For Florida State quarterback to be successful, the reason I wanted Cam Ward is because this. Our offense is built on moving in the pocket, rolling out, and also built on improvising and scrambling. Because what happens is the offensive line has been good. It's been a lot better. The worst I've ever seen is when we had Francois. After that year we won it all with Jimbo. And Francois took like 18 sacks against Alabama. And then the next week tore his ACL and was out for the season. Because the offensive line comes lost. It's the worst time to see the offensive line be that bad. But with that being said, Francois could move, so he was moving around. He was saving his life. And I'm saying to you all is when we have a quarter, oh my gosh, bro. I can't stand these trucks that have all this stuff falling out the back of them. I'm like, bro, do something with your truck. When the quarterback understands that you just can't sit back there in that pocket and you got to move and you got to be willing to have it in your head like, hey, as soon as this play call hut, if I don't see my first immediate read, I need to be moving. I need to be running. You're going to be successful. I seen Cam Ward play at Washington State. He did a lot of that. It was a look, nothing, moving, running, extending the play, shifting the coverage, throw it, boom, boom. You know? And he also hit a lot of wide open plays. I'm hoping that maybe this first game in Ireland got DJ a little nervous. He shook it off, and then the next game, he's coming out there looking like he did that one year at Clemson. You know? He's looking better than ever. He's looking a lot fitter. I mean, on point with his passes and everything else. And we stopped running on 3rd and 6 draws. Point blank. But like I said before, people call me and be like, Eric, I haven't really heard you say anything. I had no expectations for the year. None. Because once we lost the quarterback thing, I knew we go and fly by the quarterback. Our defense will either be two things as well. Middle of the pack, or we'll stop you enough, but we need the offense to score, or we're Jameis Winston, Jeremy Pruitt defense that year. That first year, we had Jeremy Pruitt, and our defense was lights out, putting people out on the ground, knocking them out. That's where I should have got off. I knew it. I knew I should have got off on that road on side. That year, we were lights out. Defense was impenetrable. But once again, hold up, I got on that one. Nope, I couldn't have got over that. So once again, defense was impenetrable that year. So, but even with that Georgia Tech game, defense had trouble stopping people. It did. But they stopped them enough. We should have had more chances and we should have scored more. I mean, point blank. Georgia Tech just don't come out and blow us out. It's always been a field goal. They did that 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 2014-15, we were ranked. Went to Georgia Tech. They beat us last second field goal. I think E.J. Manuel was the quarterback then. So that's just how it rolls with them. And then they'll go on and do what they do the rest of the season, be 6-6, 5-6, whatever they do. You know, that's what they do. But I say all this to say, we can be good. The season's still not over. But we need DJ to get into position to lead the troops. But don't have any real expectation. If we make it to a bowl game, we should be happy. If we even make it to the college football playoffs, shoot, that's even great. But don't have high expectations. Because if you get your feelings hurt, because if it comes back down, you don't have high expectations, you won't get your feelings hurt. You'll just do like I did that first year when Jameis was starting. They kept telling me it was the truth. And I was like, okay. I wanted to believe it, but after seeing E.J. Manuel the year before, I just knew my hopes had been set up because we were on our way to go all the way, and then we lose at North Carolina State 6-3 on the goal line. I just didn't want another situation like that again. So I was just like, every game Jameis was balling out, I was like, okay, that's one. We'll see how he does next game. 2, even 9 games in, 9-0. I was like, okay, we'll see. Okay, we got Clemson, we'll see. Blew Clemson out 51-17. Something like that, ridiculous. I was like, okay, we'll see. All right. I ain't gonna catch the shit too soon. I was like that all season. And after we blew out Florida, I was like, all right, I'm a believer now. But the thing of the matter is I never didn't believe that we couldn't believe. It's a simple fact that don't put the cart before the horse. And too many times I've done that, being an FSU fan and a Southern Miss fan. It's better just to relax, low expectations. But I read in the comments, one of them groups of men, they were like, hey, Florida State keep doing what they doing now, they're going to fire Mike. Nah, they're not going to fire Mike Norvell. Florida State has already attached themselves to Mike Norvell. They're not firing him. When they thought Mike was going to leave for Alabama last year, they probably should have let him go and not give him all that money. Once they give him all that money, that's it. Florida State boosters, I never really seen them have that much money. The only time I seen them actually come out and get some money, and it took them times when they paid off Willie Simmons. Willie, the first black coach. They paid him off when we did bad a little bit of time. But the crazy part is, minus race and everything else, Norville record's kind of minus last season. Before then, Norville's record was worse than Willie's. Mike Norvell's record at Florida State is 31-17. He's lost to an FCS team. Willie never did that. So Willie just didn't have enough time. And at the end of the day, they always say it's all about what people feel comfortable dealing with. It's all about who they feel comfortable with the coach with and all that other stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. We're here now at this setting, this moment. We're getting recruits. Now, at this point now, if something happens and we don't win, it's no longer about the recruits because the recruits are here. It's about coaching, play calling, and getting people in position to win, which goes back to Mike. So, Mike, we 0-1. Season ain't over. So you better get ready to right the ship. Because when you sign the ink on that contract, you got higher demands now. And of course, Florida State's not going to fire him because they don't want to pay out that big contract. If anything, they'll wait for somebody else to come take Mike, hopefully, and have them pay it out. But Florida State ain't going to fire Mike. But I will say this, though. If we would have got Deion Sanders back in the day, I know that Florida State didn't want to get him or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if we would just got Deion with the talent that we got, with just the coaching, it could have been like another just situation, just taking Florida State to the next level of how, how the U was back in the day when people were amped to go around Miami, and how Florida State was back in the day when Deion was there. It would have been like that. It would have been that culture. See, the thing about the U, don't like them, or FU, or Florida, whatever, Florida University, whatever, don't care. Don't like neither one of them. But I will admit, in that 30 for 30 for the U, when they were winning, they had people all around the school, hanging out, that's all Florida State needed. Deion would have brought that. We would have had all the FSU legends back at the campus hanging out in Tally. You know what I'm saying? Because, in Miami, it's a lot easier to hang out because you got the Dolphins down the street. You got people living in Miami. They don't really be in Tallahassee like that. But we would have had them all out. If he had them all out there like that in Jackson State, bro, Deion would have had them out there in Tallahassee. We would have had definitely the hype train. Definitely would have had the recruiting train. And I definitely know we would have had the coaching train going on and had people rumbling and bumbling and out there in Tally ready to make it rock. Now, some people might be like, well, how the coaching would have been? I don't know. But I know Deion would have got the right coaching and got everybody in place. Then we would have had the athletes to make it happen. Because sometimes when you have all the good players, you don't really need too much. All you need is a coach to coach, and you need the players to play. Kind of like at LSU. Because Les Miles was there 9, 10 years, had all these #1 recruiting classes, and he only won 1 championship, and that was with Nick Saban's players. No, let me go around here. That was with Nick Saban's players. He won that 1 championship that he won. That one, but had all those #1 recruiting classes. My point exactly. Sometimes you don't need the coach to coach. We just need the coach to be the figurehead, show up, lead the program, have the best coaches around them that can coach, and then they can do whatever they do, and you get the right players to go out there and ball out. So, that being said, yeah, this is another great day. Feeling better, feeling great. And remember, we're on this journey to become financially free, mentally free, and create a health as well. And lastly, please don't forget, keep living your life, because if you don't, your life is not going to live you.